and sassy to say. And it's also a really important time right now in this industry because there is a lot of hype out there and there's a lot of fear and there's all these things happening. And we know that if you're watching this right now with us, that maybe you're at an impasse in your own life, or maybe you've stepped out of network marketing, or maybe it's not working for you and you're wondering, is there more? So we just wanted to take time just to kind of share our hearts. For those that are new, I'd like Angel to start us off, if you're okay with that, Angel, and I'm going to share the live. Can you share with my audience? And by the way, say hello in the comments, you guys. Where are you tuning in from? City, state, province, country. But Angel, do you mind sharing with my peeps? And we're going to invite others. Others are inviting to this. So tag the person who invited you below. Can you share with everyone a little bit about you and your background, your story, what got you into this amazing profession? We want to know. Give us the goods.
Okay, well, first, I'm super honored to just be here with you. So thank you for letting me do this with you. You are such just a powerhouse and just a trailblazer in this space. And I'm just honored and grateful to be partnered with you. So thank you for having me on.
Yes.
So a little bit about me. I got into this space in community marketing about 10 years ago, but I've always been into health and wellness ever since I was in my teens because of an incident that had happened with me at 15 years old from a vax injury. I was paralyzed from the waist down and was diagnosed with transverse myelitis. And one day I was cheerleading and doing track. The next day I was on a hospital bed and in a wheelchair. And so, I was in the hospital for a good few months and no one had any answers for me. They were saying there's just no cure. And so you will probably never walk again. There is, again, no cure. So we don't know. You either will walk or you will not walk. I will say that moment in my life was just like, I remember it like it was yesterday. It was, those pivotal moments in your life where you're just like a stamp in your life of like, that was that, well, I remember it like it was yesterday. But I also remember in that hospital room, having the mindset of this is not for me. I don't know how at the age of 15, I was so strong in that. I would say by the grace of God, I was strong in my faith. However, I wasn't one that was like really reading the Bible at that time and all this stuff. But I almost knew like I had this purpose in life to do more. And I knew in that moment, that was not for me. Like there was times in the hospital where I wouldn't even sit in the chair. I would like go on my arms, right? And so anyways, by the grace of God, I am walking again. Thank you, Lord. Praise Jesus. I do have some residual effects that still bother me today. However, I knew from that day forward, I wanted to be in the health space. I almost went to be a physical therapist. I've been a personal trainer since I was 18 years old. Like I just knew from that day forward, I was like, I will never take for granted my legs ever again. And so I went on, and in my 30s, actually, I started competing in fitness competitions and bigger competitions because I was like, if I can overcome that, like I want to see how far I can push my body, and I want to show others that they can as well, no matter what's happened to them in the past, right? And so I did that for a few years. Won first place many times. So fun. Oh my
gosh, you guys got to go look at our photos on Instagram and stuff. Like you're so badass.
So fun. But also when you're so funny. But also when you're doing that strenuous of work too, it can also take a toll on your body for doing that year after year after year and not really taking the right breaks that you need. And so I did deal with a little bit of like hormonal issues after I was done competing, a lot of issues. And so at that point, I didn't understand what was going on with my body because I'd never had those issues before, like labored breathing and just I had gained like 15 pounds in a month, like just all these whacked out things were going on. And I'm like, this is not okay. Like, what is happening? And one of my friends at the time was a holistic health coach. And I was like, I need your help. And so I dove into what she was telling me. And I was like, oh, I want to do this. Like, I feel I can share my story with others and really show how to take your health back. But it wasn't because, again, when I was competing, it was like, okay, I'm eating chicken and broccoli, but I wasn't eating organic. I was drinking Diet Coke. I was chewing gum with aspartame. Like they're telling you can have everything sugar-free, guys, that's chemicals. Like that's a
Yeah.
chemical dump storm, what I like to say.
Yes.
I'll keep this PG,
Yes.
but so I went into and I dove into that and I went and got my holistic health certification and I started helping women really cure their bodies. And I'll just say that I'll heal their bodies, not cure, sorry.
That's
Heal their bodies naturally and holistically because everybody and everything that you see out there in the market today, it's like a band-aid. They just want to put a band-aid on it or here, take a pill for this
Mhm.
or take a pill for that. And so I'm like, no, there is a way. Like, let me show you. Like, if you just remove all these chemicals out of your body will start to do what it's supposed to do naturally, right? And
Yep.
so fast forward to a few years of doing that. I had just had my baby girl. I was 2 months old. I was sitting on the couch, workers' comp. I was a trainer. I'd broken my ankle when she was about 6 months pregnant. When I was about 6 months pregnant, and I was just scrolling on Facebook one day, and I was like, okay, like nothing else to do, right? And so I come across my friend, and she was on this incentive trip, and I was like, where are you at? And she was like, palm trees and beach and all this stuff, and I'm like, I don't know where you're at, but I want to be there because I would live
Not here.
there. I mean, postpartum, let's just be
Yeah.
real, women,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like you're just like feeling all the feels at that
Oh,
point.
yeah.
And living paycheck to paycheck. I wasn't really making that much money because as a holistic health coach and trainer, you're trading time for dollars. And if you're not training, if you're not coaching, you're not getting paid, right? Let's just be real.
Mhm.
And so I met with her and I was like, can I do what you're doing? And she was like, absolutely. And I found out it was a health and wellness company. And I was like, perfect. This would go right in alignment with what I do already. And so I had no business skills, zero social media following. I had probably had 800 friends at that time on social media. And I'm like, I don't know, but I'm all in. Like I'm committed. And I actually spent my rent money to get into that business. Um,
Wow.
don't recommend that, but I was committed and I was like, I will do whatever it takes to make that rent money back at the end of the month and pay my
Yes.
rent. And 2 weeks later, there was an event in town. I went to the event and I was like, because she helped me get there. Obviously, I couldn't afford it. But I'll never forget standing in that auditorium and in like my little power pose, Susan Fly was training at the last speaker and saying like, I am doing this. Like I'm doing this. Like I have to do this. And I went on, helping people and went on to make 6 figures my first year. And I've never looked back. And so the last 10 years, I've been able to stay home with my baby girl. I've been able to be room mom. I've been able to go on field trips. I've been able to travel around the world. And it's just been a true blessing to truly just live out what I knew in my heart, even in the hospital room at 15, like I was here to serve people. And I guess being paralyzed was to help me get on this journey. So I'm just so, so grateful.
I mean, that's no joke what you went through and the fact that you 15. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
man, what a blessing
Yeah.
that thank goodness that you pulled that inner strength and decided to cultivate that. I love that so
Mm-hmm.
much. I know you guys share in the comments, give her some love. I would love to know for those of you in the audience, how many of you have had a health struggle and you decided to take back your control of your health? Because we've been trained and programmed not to do that. I'd love to know in the comments. And I actually grew up in Detroit, Michigan, and my mom was a single parent. And you guys in the 80s, the microwave was the jam. Okay. Yeah. When I was 11, we moved outside of the area and I would take care of my brother. He was younger. And that was, cheese sandwiches, put that in the microwave, roast that baby up. We would go to my aunt's in the summer and she would have fresh green beans. And I thought they were disgusting because they weren't the ones in the can. Like everything I ate was in a box or can of package. Go to college. Yeah. And I gained 40 pounds my freshman year. How do you even do that? Like I was an overachiever, like it's just because I'd played sports in high school. I was never had to worry about that. And suddenly there's this cafeteria. So I gained all this weight and I started getting put on different medications. And, I had so many issues. And by the time I graduated college, I had bleeding ulcers inside my body. And they gave me another medication, you guys, 21 years old. They're like, here's another medication. I'll never forget. I walked out of when I got the prescription and I threw it in the trash, which you're not supposed to do. If you want to get off meds, you're supposed to use the doctor, And I was like, I'm done. I'm done. I am a smart woman. I could figure this out. And so even though my background had nothing in it, I decided to figure this whole nutrition thing out. So it took me 6 months, but I started eating real food. I hired a trainer, I didn't have a lot of money, but I'm like, what's the price of this? Started exercising, eating real food, lost the weight, thick hair, skin was glowing, and I was lit, you guys. I'm like, if there was anybody anywhere, I'm like, can I tell you about nutrition and superfoods? And so I started traveling. I worked for nutrition companies, speaking and doing all this stuff with nutrition for over a decade, and got into different roles in corporate. And this is funny about your fitness background. Have you guys ever heard when you achieve something significant, you need to set another goal right away or you'll get depressed? So when Scott and I got married, I remember we didn't go on a honeymoon or anything just yet because we didn't have any money. So I remember sitting at my desk that Monday morning and I'm like, okay, I've got two choices. I'm either going to become a fitness competitor, which is funny because you did that, or I'm going to get PhDs in natural health and holistic nutrition. So I was like, which one do I want to do? So I ended up doing the PhDs and finished those up the next couple of years, which is funny how similar our stories are. And I got my PhDs in natural health and holistic nutrition and was able to, really even just help people even more with an educational perspective. And I also got into the health and wellness space via network marketing. And it's funny, this is why we're so drawn to each other. When my friend told me about her, incentive trips and all the things, and I'm like, I want some of that because we had no money, you guys, like paycheck to paycheck. It was a train wreck. I said to her, I'm putting this on my secret American Express card. My husband doesn't know about it. When that statement comes in, if I don't have the money to pay back what I put on this credit card, I am turning the kit back in, I'm getting a refund, and I'm never talking to you again. She's like, okay, let's go. And I was so hungry. I was so driven. I mean, back against the wall. You guys, I would go into like hair salons because I was shampoo. And when hairstylists would be on break, I would literally say, hey, have you heard of these products? Can I leave some samples? Can I leave some product with you and get your feedback on it? I would get my bangs cut like once a week. They were so short because I wanted to talk to the stylist about my products. Like, let's go. Okay, that's what we're talking about. And so the hunger, the desire, the tenacity, this is what we're talking about. Being able to walk away from corporate. I was done being the last mom picking my kids up from daycare. And that shift, you guys, didn't happen until I made that decision, just like Angel was sharing with you guys. That's what this is all about. And I'm so grateful for this profession. And it has gone through a lot of changes. I even retired for a bit just to focus on my company, Gold Digger Girl, and the coaching. And you know what? When we make plans, God laughs at us because he's got a bigger plan for us, doesn't he? Angel, will you share with us? Because I know you went first and we didn't even know each other. We had mutual friends, but it was because of you with the domino effect of who we know and our connections that I found out about this amazing opportunity. Will you share what happened and where you were at and why you had to be a part of it?
It's so funny how you say, like, when you have a certain plan, God's like, huh, that's funny, right? So I was in a previous company and doing fine and loving it. And, another scroll moment. Sitting on my couch, I had just moved to a different location across town, and on my couch, scrolling, and I came across one of my dear friends and someone that I admired for the past 10 years. To be honest, she was in that first company with me, but we were sidelined. We weren't on the same team. But I would always watch her from afar and was like, man, I wish I was on her team. She just had this presence. She had this professionalism. She was like, at that time, what we called a boss babe. Anyone know the boss babe era? Like,
Oh, yeah.
I was like, man, she is like killing it. And she had this heart where her team just would rally around her and they would rally around each other. And even at conventions and stuff like that, they would go do their own private parties and own private masterminds. And I'm like, I want to come. Like, okay. And so I was scrolling on social media, like literally in November, this past November, and I saw that she was going to be doing something new. And I have said for years watching her, if she ever does something else, I will join her. The reason for that is because not only of what I experienced watching her, but I also knew that I wasn't growing myself where I was.
Oh, I just got chills.
I wasn't around, and no disregard to anybody in any company I've been with, but I felt like I needed that female mentorship someone that's faith-based, someone that has been way more successful than me, someone that has paved the road, has been a trailblazer, knows the ins and outs, but also has that deep-rooted, like just faith and business savvy, but also professional and humble at the same time. And I was like, man, if I could just get around that, I just felt like I just needed that at my time in my life. And so I went down the rabbit hole. I immediately signed up, like probably within seconds of seeing her. So I probably was the first one to enroll. I want to ask her that.
She's like,
But
whoa, I just put this up.
but her name is Emily Ford. And so I, got on a Zoom with her and I was like, I don't know what you're doing. I mean, I watched the videos, but I'm in. But when I dug deeper into what she was going to create here with the Heritage Club, I was like, oh, now that's another level of class,
Yes.
of just doing it different than what's out there today of like flashy and just spamming and like billboard and like, no, it's like, we're going to take it back. And, I love that they say it's the soul of an icon, but the spirit of a startup with this company, because it's a heritage rich company, but no one's ever heard of it. Like people, I mean, some people have heard of it like years ago, right? And so now it's like people are starting to hear about it. It's like, what is happening? And like Sarah said this morning, it's like we're awakening the giant of this company. But Heritage Club is just, a community inside of this company where we're just doing things different, like I said, and it's not the hustle culture anymore. It's not the boss babe era anymore. It's like a true womanhood, a sisterhood of women that are just coming together, collaborating at a high level without competition. Like, I'm so done with the mean girls. I'm so done with us competing against each other, even though we're upline or downline or sideline. Like, doesn't matter. We're all here to try to win. And we're all here to try to win for ourselves and our family. We're all here to try to leave a legacy for our family. I'm not here to compete against you. You're not here to compete against. We're here to rise each other up, right?
Yes.
Help each other lift. Because when we do that, I feel God blesses us even more. We're here to serve, and we're here to serve others and lift each other up and not tear each other down. So again, I'm just honored to be here. And the Heritage Club is just something so unique and so special. I've never been a part of, but just so blessed to be here. And now I'll get to be with you.
I know. I was like, this, where's she been? She's like the blonde version of me. Yeah. And I'm so grateful for God bringing us together. And it's been really cool, even just seeing you and how you're growing. Like, so much of what we're getting from this is helping us grow as people. And the new world domination is female collaboration. I'm going to be featured on this thing for CNBC in a few weeks. The reason why they reached out and asked me to be a part of it is because, you guys ready for this? The woman, she does PR for like big names. She said, there's going to be the greatest transfer of wealth by the end of this decade, and it's going to be to females. And she said, we want to feature more females. And I was like, I'm in, sign me up. Yes. But that's what this is about, is us saying, yes, we are worthy. We have value to offer. We get to be in our homes. We get to raise our children. We get to be present. We get to take care of our bodies, our hearts, our minds, our souls. Like, we don't have to choose anymore. Put me in the comments if you're sick of having to choose. You go to a job you don't love, or maybe your husband wants you to be doing something for your job. And you're like, I just want to like go to yoga. It's like, tell people about supplements. Like, it can be that, you guys. I could absolutely do just this, just network marketing. Angel's built a 6-figure business doing this. She's done it for a decade. If that's what you want, it's yours for the taking. So Heritage Club is our team under the leadership of Emily Ford. Emily is mentored and directly under Sarah Robbins. You guys know Sarah. So it's our team. Okay. It's not this other network marketing company. The company that we're with is called Shaklee. Shaklee is led by CEO Roger Barnett. His family is the reason why Burberry is a household name as far as luxury and like icon. Talk about an icon. This man is one of the most genius and savvy business people, and I've been in business as my undergrad since I was, a teenager, I've ever seen in my entire life. And what's so powerful about this company is that this company started the wellness movement. How many of you find it exciting to think about taking what was and reinventing it. The multivitamin, the beginning of people realizing that we were nutrient deficient with the way our soil is. There are gaps in our nutrients that cause disease, that cause cravings, that cause autoimmune. Dr. Shaklee saw that, and he was the one that created the multivitamin. Okay. He created the first plant-based protein powder. I'm talking OG. Okay. So you have this product line that's developed where now we have all of our clean household products. So we don't have to put chemicals on our floors or have our pets licking the floor and just in our air. Our laundry detergent, you guys, you're sleeping like that, sleeping in that stuff. It's on your body. The skincare, I mean, clinically proven clean skincare that actually freaking works. And obviously nutrition. So I want you to think about this. You have the history, you have the stability. How can a company be around that long and not be solid? But this is the coolest part. This company is experiencing double-digit growth, not even because of the movement of Heritage Club and Sarah Robbins coming in. It already was. You better believe it's going to continue to grow. If a company's been around that long and it's experiencing double-digit growth, what does that tell you guys? Put yes in the comments if you're excited about that. The other thing that I'm, and we talked about this before, of we know what to look for now. We've been around the block. How many of you, put me in the comments, how many of you would like to have customers that stay customers for 30 years? Put me in the comments, even if you're not looking at being in this business with us. 30 years getting paid on a customer that you brought in 30 years ago and they just order every month. Over 25% of their customers have been customers for over 3 decades. I earned the incentive trip and went to Punta Cana last week. Thank you, Shaklee. And there was a man and a woman that started talking to us at dinner. And he goes, oh yeah, my wife's been with Shaklee for 50 years. They've gone on incentive trips for 5 decades, paid for by the company. Okay. Like this is like not your typical situation. So as a businesswoman, as somebody who has seen this marketplace change very quickly over the last few years, I'm going to encourage you, when you're making decisions on who you partner with, look at the stability, look at the longevity, make sure it isn't hype, make sure that it's clinically proven. This company has done over 110 double-blind placebo-controlled studies. What does that mean? It's the gold standard for studies. It's the highest level you can get. They also have the longest long-term studies ever done on supplement users compared to another group taking not Shaklee supplements. And it's called the Landmark study if you want to look it up. You guys, the proof is in the pudding. In the research, the participants consuming Shaklee products all of these decades have increased levels of all their nutrients, all of them, and lower biomarkers, which for disease indicating biomarkers such as heart disease and cholesterol and all that. So this is just for educational purposes. We're not diagnosing anything, as Angel said. The proof is there. And that's why we're so passionate about this. We've been around the block. We've been burned. Okay. And by the way, it wasn't that I had to make a choice to come here. I chose to come here. I felt God called me to be here to help this industry. This industry needs some help right now. And we are here to say that we have an opportunity. And the reason why Angel came, it wasn't like she was miserable where she was. God called her to be here. That's why she's here. That's why we're here, because we are called to change this industry, to change lives. And just like I put that money on that American Express card going, please God, change my situation. We know that you guys are hurting. Some of you are hurting. And some of you are looking for a home. And some of you are like, I'm tired. We want you to know that we have systems here. We want you to know that we are all sharing the load. No one is going it alone. This isn't the Emily Ford show. This isn't the Sarah Robbins show. You watch whole team jumping in, doing different things, but we do get their leadership. We do get their mentorship. And we do get to learn how to grow from those ladies. So if someone invited you to this, go ahead and tag them in the comments and just say, hey, I'd love to know more. You could put Heritage in the comments. We have an open house that we just had last night sharing about the company and the products. We can get that to you. And then Angel, do you want to tell them about our wellness workshop we're co-hosting in our community and a little bit about that? And we'll talk more about products and the products are incredible, but we'll talk more about that in the wellness workshop for time's sake. Can you tell them what we have coming up?
Yes, on April 23rd. Got the date
Yes.
right? Okay.
Yep.
On April 23rd in the evening, I believe it was 7 p.m. Central, we are going to do a
7:30.
wellness 7:30. See, I wasn't on top of things, but 7:30, April 23rd in our private community, we're going to be doing a wellness workshop where we're going to talk all things nutrition and foundational wellness. Like Kimberly talked about this a little bit, is like, yes, as women, of course, we want to look fit and thin, and we want to lose weight, and we want to like feel good in our skin and our clothes. But if you don't have foundational wellness, it's that's the thing is like people are so focused on weight. Let's focus on foundational wellness first, because 9 times out of 10, if you're having the right vitamins, the right minerals, you're getting enough protein, the weight will take care of itself. Okay. You can't
Absolutely.
just put a band-aid on it. You can't just take a pill. You can't just take a shot. I promise you, that's not longevity. It's not
Mhm.
sustainable. It may be for a short minute. I get that. And if you are on those things, there's no judgment. I'm just saying, like, longevity. For me, it's about prevention. At almost 50, I'm like, I'm about prevention now. Like, I know that I know the things to do to keep my body in shape, eating healthy, doing my steps every day, working out, making sure I have my foundational wellness, supplementing, all those things. But for me, I don't want to have disease. I don't like, I want to live to 100. Like the people that are in Shaklee that are 80 and 90 years old that have been taking these products for decades and are not on pharmaceutical meds. I'm like, how in the
Amen.
world? Like, I am taking this for the rest of my life now.
Same.
So it's like we're going to just show you some of those foundational wellness products and what they actually do for people and how you can get your hands on some. So I'm super excited. So definitely drop Heritage below. We'll give you information on our wellness workshop on April 23rd.
Yay. I would love for you guys to be there. We're going to raffle off a portable size NutriBullet and a full size Vitamix. Okay. Like I've had our Vitamix since we had our first baby because I was like, if we're making all this baby food, we're investing in a Vitamix. We're going to raffle those off just for participating. So put workshop in the comments. Oh, Sherry put the date there for us. Thank you. It's in our Legacy of Wellness. If you're not already in there, get back with who invited you and they can get you in there. We'll talk more about the fundamental nutrition she talked about. And I love, love, love this movement that I'm seeing where we're talking about let's ditch the scale. Let's stop weighing ourselves. Let's stop with these quick fixes because if they worked, you wouldn't need them. You wouldn't need to you wouldn't gain the weight back and do it again, all the things, right? That's not good for your metabolism, your digestion. We want to help you to find this new homeostasis where you have this new norm where you just get to be and you see food as nutrition for your body and you can just live and be active with your kids and grandkids. It's really what it comes down to. And that's why I'm just inspired by all of this. So thank you for sharing that, Angel. And thank you for being on with me and just sharing your heart. I hope you guys all got to see her heart. What a beautiful soul she is. And we'll be doing more events like this together. So we're excited to have you. Thank you, Angel.
Oh, thank you. Love you.
Yes, love you too. Thanks for being on, guys. We will see you in the wellness workshop, April 23rd at 7:30 p.m. Central in Legacy of Wellness. Have a great day and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.